Hey guys, let me show you how to make this super rich, all natural, dense body butter using ingredients I only purchased from Amazon. So first go ahead and grab yourself some unrefined raw shea butter. I use this brand. Next, go ahead and get yourself some mango butter. This is also from Amazon and I got the 8-ounce container. Then get yourself some arrowroot powder, some sweet almond oil, some jojoba oil, some vitamin E oil, and for fragrance, I use lavender essential oil and vanilla essential oil. All right, next go ahead and grab yourself a metal or glass bowl that's going to be a little bit smaller than the pot that you're going to use to boil your water. First, you're going to want to scoop the mango butter or shea butter. I use the mango butter first, and I'm cutting it into smaller pieces just so that it can melt a little bit easier once we put it above the boiling water. For the double boiling method, while you're doing this, you're going to want to fill up a pot with a little bit of water so it's not touching the bottom of the bowl that you put on top, but so that it can just melt the butter that's going to be in the bowl because we're going to eventually place this bowl on top of that pot. Next, I went ahead and grabbed my shea butter. This was a 16-ounce bag, and the mango butter was 8 ounces, and the ratio I used was 8 ounces to 8 ounces. So I just eyeballed the shea butter and cut it in half just so it's about 8 ounces. I've actually never smelled shea butter before, like raw shea butter, so it was quite interesting. It kind of had like a smoky smell to it, so that was interesting and new to smell. I'm also like shredding it up into smaller pieces again, just so it's easier to melt within the pot. And I'm just mixing it all in there with the mango butter. You can see I put a little bit back because I felt like that was enough. All right, next go ahead and transfer that mango and shea butter onto your pot of boiling water. And we're just going to sit here and watch that butter melt. And I thought while we did so, I'd share a little daily Bible verse for you guys. It's Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5, and it says, "Don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you." Just a nice little reminder to always be satisfied and grateful for what God has blessed us with and realize that He's never going to fail us. His plans are greater than anything we could imagine, and He'll always be with us. Then I went ahead and added my oils into that melted mixture of butter. I specifically added 2 tablespoons of jojoba oil, 2 tablespoons of sweet almond oil, and 1 teaspoon of vitamin E oil, possibly a little bit more than that. The thing about making this body butter is you can really add however much and whatever oil you want depending on your skin needs and what you want the body butter to do. Then go ahead and pop it into the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes. You don't want it to fully solidify. You want it to sort of be solidified on the top, but then not fully because you want to still be able to mix it with your hand mixer. I actually probably could have left this in the fridge for possibly a little bit longer. It was still quite oily underneath, but we work with what we were given. So I transferred it out of this metal bowl and into the blue bowl that I have there just because I felt like the metal bowl was going to be too small for the whipping process. And you can see that even with this blue bowl, the body butter was sort of flying out just a little bit. So good decision on my part to switch. And I just whipped it to an even consistency here so that I could get ready to add my arrowroot powder. Arrowroot powder is specifically added so that the body butter isn't too greasy. It kind of firms it up and solidifies it. I think I added a bit too much though in my first attempt at this body butter. I specifically added 1.5 tablespoons of arrowroot powder, but I ended up adding a little bit more than that in a different clip. You can see I put more in because I felt like I needed more for some reason. Again, this was my first time doing this, so I did feel like that was a bit of a mistake. Next time, if you're making this, I would definitely add a little bit less than you think. A little bit goes a long way. Then I went ahead and added my essential oils for the scent. I added lavender oil and vanilla oil. I didn't really have a specific amount of droplets that I was putting into the body butter. I just kind of, whipped it a few times, smelled it, and then if I liked it, then I would keep it. And if I didn't, then I would add more of whichever oil I was more so feeling. The smoky smell of the shea butter definitely is very strong, and it's definitely an undertone of this body butter and something that I've had to get used to. I ended up putting it back in the fridge after I whipped it for a couple minutes just to harden it up a little bit. But this was the consistency after all of that. Super rich, super dense. This was probably the oiliest butter that I've put on myself, but in a good way. It was very hydrating. A little bit goes a long way. I then took this jar that I got from Hobby Lobby, actually. If you want any good, like, glass jars to put your body butters or other things that you might need, Hobby Lobby is a great place. They're always having sales on it and they have a whole different variety of sizes. I just went ahead and filled this entire jar with the body butter. And what I love about this butter specifically is I know exactly what went into it. And it's all natural, super rich, super dense. I can pick and choose what types of oils and everything that I want in it. So if you're looking for an all natural way to soothe your skin needs, definitely give this recipe a try.